Ho, 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 everybody. It is I, Father Christmas, the preferred term for Santa Claus in the UK circa 1990. And today we're going to do something a little different. You see, I've got lots of letters, oh yes, and I have to tell you, you Dragon's Dogma fans are a vocal bunch. And I love you for it. I love your passion and adoration for this absolute gem of a game. Let's read some excerpts from these Christmas letters. Cyclone327 says, I highly recommend the Sorcerer Vocation because of how ridiculously and absurdly powerful some of the spells are when you get max vocation in that class. Blake Stone says, I love the magic system and I hope you explored it further after you made your video. It's what I think is some of the best magic I've ever played with. And Artoria ZZ says, I can't imagine liking this game without playing as Sorcerer. I mean, if you've played this game without pulling out an electric whip or materialising giant fuck-off icy tendrils, have you even played it? All very true. You know what, maybe I had better go back and give this magic thing a second look. First of all, this isn't the same sort of format as my other videos. This is mostly anecdotal. If you liked my story about the ogre falling off and running over the mountain, my pawns dying hopelessly to ghosts, you'll enjoy this. If you want an absolute breakdown like I usually do, it won't be to the same extent. I'll be talking about my experience with the Sorcerer Vocation and Bitter Black Isle. Fortunately, I have access to all my equipment, and I kept most everything I ever picked up. Gearing up for Sorcerer is not too bad, although it does mean that the best leg equipment I have on me right now is actually the Dragon Forged Thong I made as a joke. I first decide to enhance some gear using whatever materials I have laying about, and it starts to come flooding back. I love this upgrade system so much. As I leave the shop interface, I nearly walk straight off the edge and fall down the hole. Leaving Grand Soren, I decide to test my metal against a known worm spawn spot. Heading into the watchtower, I start to mentally prepare myself for the fight. Okay, we're off to a good start. And now my pawns fell down as well, for fuck's sake. Okay, so I go back to Grand Soren, grab a couple of warm bodies, and head back to the tower. I start to get to grips with the spells, and yeah, I'll admit, I appreciate the casting a bit more now. The locking on still feels awkward to me, but Sorcerer is better. I have access to bigger spells from the get-go, and I feel like even the basic staff attacks pack a punch. I reach the top of the tower, and the dragon is nowhere to be seen. I pinch all his gold and go home to sleep at the inn. I decide to flex my spellcraft against some hobgoblins on the way to another worm spawn, and I'm starting to get the hang of it. The slow charge on spells is offset by the ability to keep moving as you power them up, and the locking system actually allows me to select multiple targets and line them up for magical abuse, albeit with varying effectiveness. I'm still using my melee augments as well, meaning I can take a fair bit of punishment, which honestly facilitated the learning process to a T. Look at this powerful walking energy. It's like Gandalf and Darth Vader rolled into one. But after chewing through several goblin tribes, I run into a chimera, and now the lock-on works by allowing me to line up the monster's hotspots. The need for timing and dodging becomes apparent as my casting is much more easily interrupted by the large creature. Still, we triumph with my base level sorcerer spells dealing okay damage. Finally what I came here for, the worm. I'm not gonna lie, it started off well, but I felt like I was peppering this thing with beanbags. I did enjoy it, even if I need to get to grips with the lock-on when fighting flying creatures, particularly ones that have multiple points to lock onto, but I realised I'm probably a bit weak to take on this guy. I started to get bored by his high HP more than anything, and decide to let him leave with a win because Christmas is coming up. I get my new skills before heading to the Everfall. I know you want me to run straight to Bitter Black Isle and reach the bottom, but if I go when I know I'm not ready, my review will be biased by how shit I am at video games. Jumping down the Everfall, I pick a level at random. Seeing as how I classified this as endgame, I ended the review before exploring this place, and genuinely have no idea which level is which.
Whoa, hey guys.
Well, I seem to have taken a wrong turn somewhere. It's here I thought about something. It's taking me a long time to level this vocation. I hadn't noticed that on my playthrough because I leveled warrior across the entire main quest. But now, with a set goal in mind, I'm noticing it. I'm also noticing that I lack a lot of the mage augments because I haven't leveled that vocation up. This wasn't an issue moving from fighter to warrior, the two synergized. However, it's a bit of an issue here if someone wanted to heavily specialise after they've already beaten the game. Okay, you know what, I'll do it. I'll go to Bitter Black Isle, but I'm shaking up my system. It's time for my pawn to become the warrior. Next, I equip Morgan Le Fay as she prepares for her next role as Mordred. I head into BBI, and with some new skills, I'm starting to get into it again. And now that I've shook up my party a little, I'm feeling like me switching off a warrior is not such a loss. My pawn is actually quite adept at it. It was also worth spending time doing this because now we both level our vocations together. Bitter Black Isle is going smoothly because I'm treading through stuff I've already done. And magic isn't feeling too weak, but it is feeling cumbersome now I'm inside. It isn't as easy to use inside these tight corridors, and now it feels like I'm along for the ride while my pawn takes the leading role. I've been usurped by a younger actor for the reboot, until of course the ogre appears.
Disfavors the taste of a woman.
Well, that's his loss, but now I have a problem, because I'm really enjoying the power of the mage to wipe out groups of enemies. But this ogre is such a health sponge, it feels like I can't do anything. I spend the first 5 minutes of this fight picking my pawns up off the ground, getting rid of the skeleton warrior before we can even focus on the ogre. And once that happens, the challenge just vanishes. There's no danger, no excitement, I'm just whittling away at its massive health pool, and every now and then I go over to pick up a pawn. I get so bored by the health pool that I once again leave.
Fuck you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Fucking idiot.
I conclude that this must be a gear issue, that I simply need better weapons to use in Bitter Black Isle, and fortunately I have a solution. I'll purify some of the loot I found while I'm down here. Fucking nothing. Well, at least I got my money's worth for the pickaxe. A lava rock. I take on a Minotaur a bit further down, and I remember just how useless the pawns can be. This one is so utterly useless, refusing to even attack the Minotaur, that I finally decide to leave them on the ground to die. We do triumph over the Minotaur, and it is a fun fight. Moving into a room filled with enemies, and I just get smashed. I have to be honest, I'm not enjoying it. This is the same point I was at before with the mountain. And I can't figure out whether it's because I switched to Sorcerer or because I'm just not geared or spec'd or leveled for Bitter Black Isle. On Sorcerer, it's a slower casting system than I'm used to in games, but I like it. It definitely captures that feeling of a gradual, slow and methodical caster. If other games make casting magic look like it's all just snapping your fingers, then Dragon's Dogma makes it look like hard work. As though you're actually a studied wizard, harnessing esoteric powers and hurling them forth. There is a certain satisfaction to just Zeusing someone, I'm not gonna lie. But the actual damage I'm dealing makes me feel impotent. However, this lightning whip looks fucking amazing, with its whole animation where your character draws out a lightning bolt and cracks it like a badass. It's so fun to use. I actually feel like I'm doing damage with this. I'm learning that for magic, enemy weaknesses are far more important, and I need to prepare ahead. But the vocation thing is taking far too long. I said I'd see the big fuck off tornadoes, so I need to figure something out. I venture back outside to level up a bit, and I'm lucky enough to run into a worm. Good, I think. This will give XP, maybe upgrade some gear, and also be fun. He flies off into the sky, bugs out, and then I watch him slowly sink into the sea. But it gives me chance to be reminded of how beautiful and serene this game can be. I know I'm meant to be here exploring the Sorcerer gameplay, but look and listen to this. Okay, I've got to give this the time it deserves. But first, I pop back to Gran Soren to see if there are any upgrades worth buying. I kit out as much as I can. I try to visit the Duke, but the only welcome I receive is a constant stream of guards. I guess he's still salty about me banging Eleanor. But my patience is rewarded when I get my new skills. Look at this. At long last, all the fucking ball ache watching my pawns die while I feel like I can't do shit has paid off. Look at these ice spirals blasting out of me, and the tornado. The Maelstrom spell feels every bit as it should. The casting animation alone is perfection. Whoever animated these casting moves was a true master of the arcane. They're all satisfying and powerful, and I've got to admit, I'm glad I came back to give Sorcerer another go. Oh, let's not tell the other pawns about this one. I head back to Bitter Black Isle, get some new gear from Barrock, and now we're talking. I'm doing some proper damage, and my spells are really feeling powerful. And then the ogre appears again to kill my mood. Okay, you know what? No matter how much I enjoy this game, no matter how much I'm enjoying the challenges of Bitter Black Isle, this is too much health to be fun. It's a bullet sponge, and I hate bullet sponges. So I decide to deal with this ogre the way the game taught me. Straight off the fucking edge. I reach a necromancer boss fight, and it's okay. I understand what I have to do. I kill the dragon when the necromancer goes inside it, then when he's defeated, the necromancer spawns flat on his face, ready to be burnt down. Then do it over again. But I'm not having fun, and despite how powerful my spells look, they don't feel powerful. I lack the skill to play it into Bitter Black Isle, and I hate to say it, but so do the pawns, all of who are less than useless. And after looking it up, there's no wonder. The recommended level for this is between 70 to 90. I'm level 60. I also lack all of the mage augments that I should be using. I don't have time to level everything up. I have to deliver presents, so I need a solution. Hold up. Constant streaming of guards. Yo, Dookie! I switch to the mage vocation, the boring one, and head back to the Duke's house. Here I park myself on a ledge and go make myself a coffee while my pawns farm guardsmen, giving me a constant trickle of XP. I eventually come back and find I'm 4 vocation ranks higher. It's a solution, but not a fast solution. Guides have also said I really should have Dragon Forged gear on me and my main pawn for Bitter Black Isle. Well, that I do know how to do. And so I went to farm a few materials for upgrades and then farm a few dragons. I love this bit of DD, so it's not a problem. The most important thing was to get that Mage Staff Dragon Forged, so I could give it to my pawn and get off the vocation as fast as possible. But how quickly can I farm Dragon Forging as a sorcerer? I can now kill a worm in a few minutes. In fact, it's taking longer for me to run in and out to see if I've spawned one. Then it happened, while I was killing a random enemy off camera, rank 9 sorcerer. Okay, let's go. I have just enough points to unlock Mega Tornado. And with that I decide to just head back to the Dark Bishop and see how I shape up with proper gear and some levels under my belt. I take Dark Affinity with me as well to buff my pawns, as he's one of the few enemies in the game weak to darkness. And guys, I get it. I finally get it. The study has paid off. I am Gandalf. A swish of my staff brings forth a tornado capable of destroying even the mightiest beasts, and my fireballs destroy his pet dragon in no time. As if letting me know I did okay, half of my fucking inventory Dragon Forges. I can safely say that I love Sorcerer. It is everything you could want from a wizard class fantasy. Slow and painful early levels that would easily put someone off. I have to say it because I'm not going to lie to you. But the eventual payoff, and I think the slow cast times actually make it more satisfying. The timing and positioning, the visuals, the sounds, the animations, and the experience is wonderful. But guys, I can't complete Bitter Black Isle on my Sorcerer. It just isn't what I was meant to do. And I've been Dragon Forging my gear to gear up my main pawn. I want to do this right. Yeah, baby, I'm back, let's go! I got some new gear for Warrior while playing Sorcerer, and of course with Bitter Black Isle, you can further upgrade Dragon Forge gear into silver and golden tiers. So this should be a cakewalk. Oh, for fuck's sake, fucking mega ghosts, I can't do shit to them. Oh, the fucking lantern goes out every 5 seconds because the entire floor is ankle deep in water. Who built this place, you sadist? That Minotaur can't even fit in here. But I am having fun. The ambience here feels smothering, and the addition of beacons to help light your way and combat the enemies is a lovely addition. I'm loving the feeling of wading through enemies again, something you just can't do on Sorcerer, as much as I enjoyed it. Look at this lich go down in one fell swoop of my sword. Sorry, Arantir. Oh, shit. Okay. I love the enchanted armor boss. The need to have a well-balanced party is something I love. The first half of the fight is left to me and the fighter, and the second half is up to our spellcasters. It does mean I'm left running around picking flowers at points, but I can also succeed in getting the armor's attention, giving the mages plenty of time to cast some Chad spells. I've always had a love for animated statues and suits of armor. There's something magical about them, something terrifying and wonderful. And as I depart the chamber, I'm treated to this. A city beneath the stone. Just fantastic. The smothering darkness and brutal difficulty is not alien to Dragon's Dogma, but Bitter Black Isle does feel like the extreme of those two things. At times it's fantastic, but at times it's spoiled by the large enemy health pools that can feel more like time sinks, or just random encounters that are unbalanced beyond belief, like having 3 Garns spawn inside a tight corridor. And this caters to those who like a real challenge, an unfair encounter. Do I enjoy it? No, not really. I like a finely tuned encounter, designed well like the animated armor or the Dark Bishop, but I respect the fact that these other challenges are there, and that they're avoidable if you want to run past them. But this, I love. Walking through the shadow of a city, the ominous narration as you move through the dead streets, the approach to the gate that leads to the keeper of this cursed isle. The daemon is perfect. A mobile brute of a boss, enough spellcasting to make it interesting without resorting to the more bullshit spells of other bosses, fast enough to make grappling a challenge, but lets you stay up there long enough to make it worthwhile, small enough openings to make timing important, but enough of them to make them useful, devastating blows that you can easily see and prepare for. The double ice move is a little toxic, but that's personal preference. Besides that, he is the perfect counterpart to the dragon, smaller yet deadlier. He has the ability to consign pawns to nothingness. There is no reviving them from wherever he sends them. And it's a reminder of why I find the warrior so satisfying to play. Because as much as I do love Sorcerer now that I've had a chance to play it, the warrior is head first, in the action. You're always putting yourself in danger, and this makes this boss fight such fun, because it gives you that moment. That one chance to be the hero. One swing can mean the difference between victory or oblivion. And it all comes together. Your team cohesion just flicks on, they wake up and everything clicks. Every death and fall feels less like failed attempts, more stepping stones to that moment. But the most important bit, let's see what loot I got. Duplicates. Fucking duplicates. What is this, Overwatch? Okay, so there's some random enchantments, but still.
Masterworks all, you can't go wrong.
Dragon's Dogma is a great game, and I stand by my criticisms of its flaws, but Sorcerer is great. And Bitter Black Isle is a fantastic, fun and deep expansion, if stressful and frustrating at times, making it a perfect addition to Dragon's Dogma. It has its own story, that while separate from the main plot, is definitely relevant to it. The environmental storytelling is tighter as it's all in one place, and the dialogue is enough to put things together. There's even changes that happen after Daemon, and then there's a true form Daemon that no, I haven't got around to yet, nor the Seneschal, because there is always something to do in this game, and I love it. Ho ho ho! Wasn't that a fun adventure? We learned how to rip people apart with wind, and finally I've got lots of presents in my bag. Let's have a quick look. Ooh, a Duke Edmund Dragonsbane signed poster. I'm just having a bit of fun, guys. Merry Christmas. I'm humbled and grateful for your kind words and comments. I hope you know people will always see the games we love differently. And that's why I love reading what you all write, your own adventures and memories. I really wanted to fix my oversight with Sorcerer, and you guys were right on the money. It's really fun. BloodRayne review in the new year, Pathfinder after that. Please all of you stay safe and have a really lovely holiday.
Perhaps we're to spend the rest of our days together. Oh, spare me that look. I say that with all my heart. Truly.